Hey everyone, this is Kevin with My Shop Assist. Today I'm going to go over how to use the credit card processing that we have added into the new version of MSA. To begin, the first thing you will need to be able to do is enable it. So from the home screen here, you would just go into Shop and then go to the little credit card tab and click Request Access. That will send a notification to the 360 Payments people who are our partner with the credit card processing. And they will contact you directly, actually over the phone in person. They will set up all the information, get your rate set up, see what kind of terminals you need for your shop. And once that is completed, they will actually enter the information so that way you can start doing processing within the Okay, from there, once you have activated your credit card processing with 360 Payments, I've logged into a shop that actually has a test account with them, so I can show you some actual transactions. So the first thing you would do is go into a job and go to the work order. So this job has just got a couple tasks and a part here. It's obviously all just fake. Ben Franklin 1750 custom carriage. On the work order, we've got a total balance of $14.48, and we have a make payment button up here. So this has been here for a while. If you go in here, there's several options: cash, check, PayPal, other, credit card, debit card. Cash, check, PayPal, other, basically all you do is you just select it, put in amount, and hit save, and it will add the payment down here. So I've done this twice now, so here is the second one. And if you were to do a credit card process, all you do is select credit card. And so once you have enabled with 360 Payments, these options will come up. Otherwise, all it is just you manually typing in that a payment has been received, similar to a cash transaction. The options here are going to be in-person, remote, and existing. So in-person, obviously, if the person is in front of you. If you have, or once you have the terminal from 360 guys, if you click this button, it will light up the terminal with the amount due. So you can put the amount you want to receive here and then click this button, and it will send to the terminal the amount you're going to get processed. And then you would swipe the card, tap the card, or chip insert the card, and then it will let you sign for it. And once the machine has been approved, like the signature is complete and accepted, it will return the result here with the signature box. And so you'll have it all in MSA as records for yourself, as well as what gets sent on the actual terminal in a batch. The second way to do this is a manual transaction. So if you go in here and do a manual transaction, it actually loads up a card not present terminal here. So this would be like if somebody called you in order to make a payment remotely, this is how you would do it. So in this case, I'm just gonna do a test number here. So this will get me an approval here. It's obviously not gonna fund anything, but so let's see here. And we're gonna select a street address here. With a zip code. Okay, so now we're going to run it for, let's not do the full amount here, so we can just do sample here. Well, actually, let's just do $1. $1. And we're going to pay it. It's going to validate the card info. Once it's been approved, it'll show it as a transaction on here, and you would sign it. Done. Okay, and then once the information has been returned, you will now see the signature, the authorization code, the match for the AVS, and the amount that we did the transaction for. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and it will show it down here as a $1 transaction. So the same thing works with the terminal if you're actually doing a card in front of you. And then we have two other options as well. So if you go in to make a payment and you do credit card, if you look at this remote option here, email and text are two other things we can do. So the text is really fancy because what it does, it will send a text message. As long as you have the customer's phone number and email address, you can do either of these. If you have their phone number, you can do text. And what it will do is it will send them a text message. So I'm going to send it, and you actually hear my phone dinging in the background because I've been using my phone for this. And what it will do, there's the text message with the payment. What it will do is it will look like this. So a payment has been requested for Ben Franklin 1750 custom carriage. You can click this URL and it will log directly into the page, and it's a payment portal on your phone. Basically, you just type in the numbers for your credit card and you can do it right there and then and there. It works really, really well. It's very easy to do. Once the customer has made a payment, it will show up on the little notifications as a red blinking bell, and you will click it and you will see when a payment has been made. So it will show you when the amount that the customer paid remotely will be on here. So that's how you know a transaction or a customer has actually paid on a invoice. The last option on there is going to be the saved. So when you manually key in a card, you can save it for recurring payments, such as like if you're doing a large restoration and you bill the customer every 2 weeks or every month, sometimes they let you save the card on file so you can just run it in person. That also happens a lot with business to business. So if you are a shop working with another shop, a lot of times they save your card on file because you're doing constant transactions with them. This will do that as well. So that's it for actually running cards. So all three of them are very easy to do. It takes, once it's set up, it's essentially easier than any other system I've ever seen for doing cards because it adds it directly into your accounting system here, and then you can export it directly into QuickBooks without having to type anything in there as well. There's a couple cases in here that if you needed to do like a refund or a void, as long as the payment has been not been batched out, you can still do a void. So this will just like instantly cancel it. It basically deletes it out of the terminal before it gets batched out. After it's a day old or the transaction is day old and it's been funded to your bank account, then you would actually have to do a refund. And you can do either of these. So if you click void, it will just void the payment out of the, in this case, the card not present terminal. So then it's gone. We do save the payments and the void on here. So we do save them both on here. So like obviously you refunded $1 but we show them both on here. So that way, you know, the record has been refunded, not just deleting it out of here. So you can see them on here still. Refund works the same way. You just click refund and it will refund. You can select the amount you want to refund. You don't have to do the full amount and it shows up on the same way. One important thing to note is when you do a refund in here, we just show you the amount that's refunded on the invoice and it adjusts the remaining balance. QuickBooks handles things a lot differently. If you do a refund and sync it to QuickBooks, refund will not show up as a separate ticket in a separate payment ticket, I guess, in QuickBooks. All we do is we reduce the amount of the original payment because QuickBooks handles, it doesn't even consider them payments. It's just a different thing. So within QuickBooks, it will just show the payment and then whatever your refund amount is reduced by. So if it were the full refund, the payment would be reduced down to 0. Okay, so that's that part of this. Also, if you need to ever see your record of payments here, you can go into reports and go to your payments. And this is a report of all your payments. So you can see what transactions were made and for the amount. And like in this case, we got Ben Franklin custom carriage $1 and then a refund for $1. And you can see the authorization codes. If you click on it, it will show you the job that it's on. So that's how we have records within MSA. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is actually exporting these jobs to QuickBooks. So I logged in as my actual shop because it is actually connected to a QuickBooks file. So again, I just used Ben Franklin as a dummy customer here, but and I have a payment on here. Basically, if you want to export this thing, all you have to do is click the export button up here. So in this case, I've already exported it once, but I'm going to click it. Since it's already been exported once, we do allow you to sync and update, or you can export as a new invoice. So if I had made some changes to this invoice and I just wanted to update it, you would click this button and it would retain the same original invoice in QuickBooks, just with the new amounts. So we will go ahead and just update we'll update previous on this one. And then if you need to export the payments, you can go ahead and do this as well. And then from there, when you go watch the little spinny light here, when it turns green, that means it's exported successfully. If you go into your QuickBooks and refresh it, you will now see the payment and the job inside of here. So all we did was just update the existing one, but it's in here. So we can look at the Ben Franklin invoice and you can see the amount is matched on here. So it's really quite simple and it's basically instant to export it to QuickBooks, including the payment as well. And if we look at the payment on here, it's just one payment right here for $20. We look at it so you can see the amount and the invoice that it was on. So both of them will dump into QuickBooks really easily. It's the fastest way I've seen it rather than manual entering it. So that's what you need to do. Okay, so that's basically it for credit card processing. If you have any questions, obviously you can just message us via email on the website, or as well as if you are in MSA, you can always go into the chat and go to the MSA logo and message us here. This is tech support. All right, thanks.